Nice show, everybody. Oh, thanks, Jim. Television can be hard work, but not this next half hour. For the next 30 minutes, we're going to examine a new product that answers a fascinating question. It's a question that many friends of mine out in Hollywood have been trying to answer for years. Can you look younger, I mean 10 or even 15 years younger, and stay younger looking forever? Is it just a dream? Ponce de Leon failed, as you know, looking for the fountain of youth. And since then, we've seen creams, lotions, potions, expensive spas, body wraps, Dead Sea mud masks, and surgical wonder treatments that promise eternal youth. But recently, there has been a lot of excitement and controversy over a new youth miracle. You probably guessed it. It's retinoic acid. It's better known by its commercial name, Retin-A. Now, test results, magazine articles, newspaper stories, they all confirm that retinoic acid, it's a derivative of vitamin A, does magically erase fine age lines, diminishes crow's feet, improves the texture of your skin, of aging skin, dramatically. But as with most good news, there's a downside. Retin-A is a drug. You have to use it under doctor's care. You buy it with a prescription only. And the side effects have some doctors and many people very worried. So you might ask, what price do we put on youth? Well, in my town, they place a pretty high premium on youth. Which brings us to my topic today. And it's a reason why I've asked to do this show. You're going to learn, along with me, all about a very new facial regimen developed by a well-known New York cosmetic surgeon and dermatologist, which he's been dispensing to many of his patients to fight the visible signs of aging. And as you'll soon see, the results are fabulous.
I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a businesswoman, I'm an ex-cosmetologist. For 20 years I was in cosmetology, and I've seen these products come and go on the market. As quick as they're on the market, that's how quick they come off, because some of them just don't work. And they certainly don't work as fast as Dr. Fetter's regimen does. You feel the difference almost immediately after using it.
It's really exciting. I mean, could this be it? Could our secret to eternal youth be right here in New York City and not cost a small fortune? A lot of people in New York City think so. And I'll tell you a secret. I've been using it myself. I'm going to tell you what I've found, and we're going to get the inside facts from the doctor himself right after this.
These men and women and John Davidson share a secret to prolonged youth known until now only to a select few. Join John and his guests and learn how you, too, can win the war against wrinkles.
Well, we're back again in the high-tech environment of a video editing studio where engineers are racking up the footage that will help us learn how we can win the war against wrinkles and look years younger. At first, I want you to look at the monitor. Some of you will recognize the posh Manhattan neighborhood of 78th Street and Fifth Avenue, just right opposite Central Park. It's the offices of none other than Dr. Louis Fetter, one of America's foremost dermatologists and cosmetic surgeons. It's here that Dr. Fetter has become the guru to New York's rich and famous, lifting, tucking, and generally renovating some of the most recognizable faces in the world. With 2 fully equipped operating rooms and several examination rooms, he can do facelifts, eye lifts, chin implants, liposuction, or dermabrasions right here in the office. He's a sought-after lecturer as well as a medical innovator. And here in New York, Dr. Fetter has attained his own celebrity status, hosting his own cable television shows on which he interviews doctors and celebrities and many authorities on the latest techniques that keep you and me looking younger and more attractive. I'd like to be a fly on Dr. Fetter's waiting room wall. I bet I'd recognize a few of his patients. But now I think it's time to meet the doctor himself and to find out more about his youth miracle he's formulated. Please welcome Dr. Fetter. Doctor, it's
John,
a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, too.
You've done a lot of work with Retin-A. We've all heard a lot about that. Does Retin-A really stop aging? What does Retin-A do?
Surprising. Retin-A was developed in the early 1970s as a treatment for acne. And patients were noting they get very red and irritated. It was later found that it can do something as far as actually retarding some of the effects of aging. And sure enough, the fine wrinkles in many patients were noted to disappear, and a smoothness of complexion was seen in many patients. And soon it was discovered that in addition to being an acne treatment, it could literally do something with patients as far as almost a refreshing and a rejuvenating of skin.
But there were side effects, and it has to be given by a doctor, and it's quite a serious treatment.
That's why I realized that now is a large body of patients out there who needed something else without the serious side effects and perhaps was not a drug.
Okay. Now, how long then before you should see results?
Patients should see a result probably within about 1 month. The longer you use it, the better it will appear. But within a month, you're going to see a more clear complexion, smoother, brighter. One's makeup would go on easier, for example. But you'll notice the fine wrinkles, very slowly they're going to fade. The deeper wrinkles, that probably not is going to be affected by the product. However, the fine crepiness is what most people complain about, especially around the eyes, even the upper lip, even the back of the hands. You can use these products.
No prescription, no doctor's care, no side effects?
Well, first of all, it's not Retin-A. It's not as strong as Retin-A, but then again, you won't have the side effects or the dermatitis or the irritation that most of the Retin-A around today is causing. And you hear women who are very upset about it, and they can't go in the sun, and they get dry, and they use it too frequently, or with too heavy a concentration, and there can be problems. With this particular product, there won't be that problem. If there's an irritation, I'd be very much surprised.
We've kidded a lot on the show about the fountain of youth. Is this the fountain of youth?
I think the fountain of youth is in Florida, but this is not the fountain of youth, because I deal in basic fact in science. There's no such thing as the fountain of youth, and there's no such thing as just stopping the aging clock. But one can make it go a little slower. One can stop the visible signs of aging to some degree.
Right now, can anyone use this regimen even if they don't have wrinkles? What about a younger person? Could this help him as well?
It certainly could, because the sooner one takes preventative measures, the better off that skin will be. Remember, the skin is like a memory. It doesn't forget. It goes on and on and on, and things you've done 10 years ago may show up 10 years later. So as a result, if one is careful as far as preventing too much exposure to the elements, if one uses a super peel to cause an exfoliation, if one uses the special retinoid moisturizer, yes, these things will help. It's better to begin earlier than later.
If it isn't the fountain of youth, it's certainly a youth breakthrough. Let's dig a little bit deeper now and talk to some of Dr. Feder's patients.
Many patients come in and they have fine lines around the eyes and the nasolabial folds. They use it over here on the forehead and furrow lines, and you see right away the difference under the eyes in here. Over here, you see the slight blemishes disappear within a matter of weeks. It's a wonderful product.
I saw a complete difference in my skin as far as the softness, and the pink came back, and it looked healthier. And I was looking very carefully to see what would happen with the wrinkles on around my eye area, and in through here, and the deep setting in here. And after about a week, I saw a vast difference from when I had first started to use it. But by the second week, I had noticed that the old scars that I had from old acne problems were starting to heal. They were starting to close. They were getting smaller. My skin was looking younger, like my daughter's. My daughter is 19, and it was starting to look like hers.
Peel is absolutely fantastic because you sort of see things being lifted from your face. You just sort of visually see everything happening, and it's just a great feeling.
That was great. Now I'd like to introduce you to another patient of Dr. Feder. Her name is?
Jane Craig.
Hi, Jane.
Hi, John.
Why did you go to Dr. Feder?
Well, at the point I went to see Dr. Feder, the cumulative damage of years of baking in the sun and a problem with acne that I had had as a teenager all seemed to catch up with me. And in spite of the fact that I'd tried any number of products from department stores, nothing seemed to even touch the problem, and every day it seemed to look worse.
So you went to Dr. Feder and started using the regimen.
Yes, I
of
did.
the 3 little miracle jars, I call them. Results right away?
Yes, in fact, when I went to see Dr. Feder, I was at the point where I thought I needed cosmetic surgery or dermabrasion or something. And in fact, the problems were eradicated through these 3 little jars.
Specifically, what did it do for you?
Well, I had a number of marks on my face. It wasn't as smooth as I thought it should be, and I was starting to get a lot of wrinkles around my eyes, and it just took them away.
And it changed your sense of yourself or your well-being as well?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And as you can see, her skin now is much smoother. And the fine wrinkles that seem to have bothered you, that you always complained about,
Yeah.
I think are much, much better and almost gone, in fact. Well, what's interesting, this patient did come and she anticipated cosmetic surgery. She wanted to know what could be done, what couldn't be done, and she really didn't need cosmetic surgery. She needed a decent regimen. We watched her diet. We got her off a lot of her dairy foods. We told her how to wash. We put her on the super peel and the mild retinoid regimen. And look at her skin now. I think it's terrific. I'm very pleased with the way you look.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
And now let's go to a pre-taped discussion between Dr. Feder and one of his associates. I think this will shed some light on this exciting breakthrough and just how it works.
Tell me some of the things that you've done with your patients involving facial rejuvenation.
Of course, chemical peels, dermabrasion, and collagen injections are fine surgical techniques, but today, as you mentioned before, people want easier, less expensive, less time-consuming methods that they can do at home for facial rejuvenation. And as we talked about and mentioned, Retin-A seems to be a wonderful, wonderful method to do this. I know you yourself, as we've been discussing, have used some of these new retinoids in your patients, and you find them to be wonderful.
Can you look years younger, safely and easily? I must tell you that Dr. Feder sent me his regimen. I've been using it for a couple of weeks now, and I've seen a difference already. I don't understand it, I don't know how it works, but my skin feels more vibrant, tighter, maybe somehow, more cleaner, tingly almost after the treatment, and it takes so little time. I would recommend it to guys. Recommend it to your man. He might use it right along with you. I'm not saying I look 10 years younger. I don't want to say that yet. But my skin looks younger. I don't know how much. I'm still not sure how it works. Maybe we'll find out right after this.
The patients that have been coming in a matter of weeks, we see a marked improvement in their skin, in the texture of their skin. Blemishes have disappeared, fine lines have filtered out a little bit.
My father's been using it too, and it's been helping his skin. I don't know if he wants me to tell you this, but it's been helping his skin, closing up all the wrinkles on his face.
The new retinoid, like I said, we're very excited in here about it. It's almost like a miracle.
I think the benefit of the product not being a prescription item gives you safety, makes a woman feel safe about it.
Retinoids are here. Can they make you look younger?
Can you look younger? I mean 10 or even 15 years younger and stay younger looking forever?
John Davidson found the answer for himself.
My skin looks younger. At 47, I'm awful glad I'm using Dr. Feder's facial regimen.
Yes, it worked for John Davidson and for all these patients of Dr. Louis Feder, noted Fifth Avenue dermatologist and cosmetic surgeon. Now, for the first time, you don't have to travel to New York to Dr. Feder's offices or pay for any doctor's visits to enjoy the years younger, vibrant results once available only to a select few. Introducing the doctor's own 3-step Retinoid Youth Regimen to fight the visible signs of aging, to attack wrinkles, age spots, blemishes, and renew environmentally worn skin without a prescription. First, once or twice weekly, apply the contents of 1 ampule of Dr. Feder's Retinoid Concentrate to a clean face and feel the silky tingle and rich retinoid coating as skin is nourished, hydrated, and protected from further environmental insult. Each morning and evening, apply just a small amount of Dr. Feder's emollient-based retinoid cream to the face, back of hands, and throat, and continue to bathe cells in youth-giving nutrition, wrinkle-fighting retinoids, and nature's most potent healing agents. And finally, use Dr. Feder's trademarked Super Peel twice weekly to complete the most powerful non-prescription skin treatment ever developed for aging skin. Apply with firm circular strokes to the face, hands, throat, even the chest, and watch dirt and debris lift right out of your skin as blemishes and age spots diminish. Skin tightens and dead cells are swept away as young, fresh cells move to the surface. Yes, for only $69.95, you can now receive this doctor's complete 30-day Retinoid Youth Regimen. You'll feel and see results the same day, dramatic results within the first month that improve with continued use, and no prescriptions, no costly doctor's visits, and no harmful side effects.
The benefit of the product not being a prescription item gives you safety, makes a woman feel safe about it.
I feel that I can use it and not worry about any kind of sun exposure.
Stop paying for frivolous department store cosmetics or fortunes for potentially dangerous drugs. The doctor's Retinoid Youth Regimen is available only through this special TV offering on a full 30-day money-back guarantee. Here's how to order. Operators are standing by to receive your toll-free call 24 hours a day while supply lasts. Just dial 1-800-426-3200. That's 1-800-426-3200. Canadian orders welcome, no CODs, please. Or send $69.95 plus $4 postage and handling to Retinoid Regimen, P.O. Box 516, Crestkill, New Jersey 07626, and we'll UPS your doctor's Retinoid Regimen to you without delay. Dr. Fetter's Personal Youth Regimen is available on a 30-day money-back guarantee basis without a prescription. So dial 1-800-426-3200. Visa, MasterCard, and American Express accepted. That's 1-800-426-3200. Join John Davidson and Dr. Fetter's patients and start looking years younger with Retinoid Regimen today. Now we return to Win the War Against Wrinkles with John Davidson.
Retinoids do many things, but no one seems to know exactly how retinoids work in the treatment of aging skin. When combined with my other invention that I have called Super Peel and the weekly ampules, I believe clinical results will be comparable. And the best part of this regimen is that it is safe. It is not a drug and therefore does not need a prescription. Many of my patients have used it with perfect results. Of course, as with most cosmetics, if irritation or discomfort should occur, stop the regimen. And if irritation persists, see your doctor. But I seriously doubt that this could happen. Remember, exercise, good nutrition, avoiding undue exposure to the elements is also very important in the battle against aging. Thank you very much.
Dr. Fetter, those were excerpts from a lecture you gave to a panel of professionals, a symposium on aging. Now let's go to some other people to get the layman's point of view. Watch the monitor.
In using the product, I felt that my face, the tone of my face, was getting better. And the lines around my eyes from squinting like we all do were definitely improving. And particularly the ones around my nose and mouth, which are the most important ones to me.
Well, genuinely, I would say the lines in this area right here and the lines right here have certainly diminished since I'm using the products. There is no doubt about it. And all my friends have commented about the better look, younger look, without surgery.
I have friends of mine who had the same problem. His son also had a black mark on his face. And after 2 days of using it, he started to see a difference. And I know that Dr. Fetter doesn't proclaim that this does do this, but it does. Here in Florida, we do an awful lot of swimming and a lot of outdoor exercises. And the girls, the women, go to the local beauty shops and they do what they call bikini waxing. And after a certain amount of time of bikini waxing, the skin in the bikini area becomes dark and it becomes almost like an ash tone. And after using the peel in the bikini area, I saw it starting to turn pink and pinker and pinker. I have all my girlfriends using it for that one area. It works. It's great. I just love it. And I wouldn't use anything else.
Immediately, I felt and saw a difference. When you use the peel and the scrub and you clean your face, you know something is happening. You really, really know it. You feel it and you can see it.
Makes you look younger, makes you look healthier, and gives you a certain glow that you, I guess, otherwise wouldn't have. You can cover up a lot by wearing makeup. However, it's always better to be able to just dash out of your house looking naturally good.
Doctor, your office is equipped with a fascinating device. I think it's called a computer imaging system. Tell me if I have this right. You can take a patient and through computer imaging, you can recreate the effects of your treatment to show how the face, the skin, individual wrinkles even, can be affected by surgery, by dermabrasion, or by your new retinoid regimen. Am I right about that?
That's right. In fact, if you watch the monitor, you'll be able to watch me working on a patient's face right now. Now here's a patient who's rather attractive, who's consulted me about what can be done to keep her skin at optimal results. Fortunately, she's very attractive and she doesn't need many things done, but I put her on the computer imaging system and I wanted to show her some of the things that we can do, ideally, with both the retinoid regimen and other procedures that I might consider doing on her as a patient. Now, the computer imaging system is rather unique in the fact that you can show a patient what can be done through different procedures. Now, in this instance, if we look over here, I have the patient in the blend mode, which is what a retinoid regimen might do. There are some very fine wrinkles around the eyes. Now what I'll do is a little close-up on this so you can see how this appears. And we see some fine wrinkling. Now, over a period of time, using a retinoid regimen, or being that she's a patient, I might do some light peeling. But for those of you at home, retinoids would probably do the same thing over a period of time. Irregularities, the lack of smoothness, and a general well-being over a period of time can be accomplished using a good retinoid regimen like ours.
Well, I love that. It's amazing what modern science can do. Now I'd like to come back to the lecture that we saw you give earlier. Afterwards, I know the panel grilled you with some questions. Let's turn back to the tape of that lecture and pick up some of the questions.
Dr. Fetter, what differentiates your product from the other product in today's market?
Many of the ingredients in my products do resemble those found in more expensive products in stores. The difference in what I have is the fact that the moisturizers and the plant extracts add to the actual retinoid regimen. In addition, we have the ampules, which is a more concentrated form of the retinoid, which is to be applied weekly, and then my new Super Peel, which is something I've discovered, which is an exfoliant, which refines and polishes the skin.
Exactly why does Retin-A and the retinoid regimen work so well?
The actual mechanism of why Retin-A and the retinoids work is not well understood. The skin becomes more fresh, more smooth, and appears better. And this can go on as one continues to use the product. That is either a retinoid or retinoic acid. But we really have not truly elucidated the reason, actually, why retinoids work. We do know they do work.
Well, at this point, Doctor, we've seen your patients and nurses. I've questioned you. You've given an informative and eloquent lecture. We even heard from one of your medical colleagues. Is there anything you'd like to say personally to the men and women in our audience who are watching, concerned about aging and what they can realistically do to retard its effects?
Yes, thank you. For those of you who are uncomfortable with the visible signs of aging, there are alternatives available. This show allows me to share my regimen with many, many more people than I could ever do in my private practice. However, of course, I'm here for those of you who have more serious medical or cosmetic needs. But I strongly recommend you're trying my retinoid regimen as your first line of defense against the visible signs of aging. My 3 simple steps each week can make you look younger and feel more confident. Thank you all for spending this time with me, my staff, and my patients. And thank you, John.
Thank you, Doctor.
I feel very fortunate because I have seen incredible improvements in my skin. I have seen him do surgeries. I've seen his other patients. I think he's a very talented, very gifted doctor. And the unfortunate thing is that he lives and practices in New York. The rest of the nation doesn't have the opportunity or the chance to benefit from his services. Some people do fly in from all over the world. However, him, by making his products available nationally, he's actually doing a great service because now everyone who has heard of or has learned of the products is going to be able to have them available right in their own home without having the expense of a trip to New York.
Retinoids are here. Can they make you look younger?
Can you look younger? I mean 10 or even 15 years younger and stay younger looking forever?
John Davidson found the answer for himself.
My skin looks younger. At 47, I'm awful glad I'm using Dr. Fetter's facial regimen.
Yes, it worked for John Davidson and for all these patients of Dr. Louis Fetter, noted Fifth Avenue dermatologist and cosmetic surgeon. Now, for the first time, you don't have to travel to New York to Dr. Fetter's offices or pay for any doctor's visits to enjoy the years younger, vibrant results once available only to a select few. Introducing the doctor's own 3-step retinoid youth regimen to fight the visible signs of aging, to attack wrinkles, age spots, blemishes, and renew environmentally worn skin without a prescription. First, once or twice weekly, apply the contents of 1 ampule of Dr. Fetter's retinoid concentrate to a clean face and feel the silky tingle and rich retinoid coating as skin is nourished, hydrated, and protected from further environmental insult. Each morning and evening, apply just a small amount of Dr. Fetter's emollient-based retinoid cream to the face, back of hands, and throat, and continue to bathe cells in youth-giving nutrition, wrinkle-fighting retinoids, and nature's most potent healing agents. And finally, use Dr. Fetter's trademarked Super Peel twice weekly to complete the most powerful non-prescription skin treatment ever developed for aging skin. Apply with firm circular strokes to the face, hands, throat, even the chest, and watch dirt and debris lift right out of your skin as blemishes and age spots diminish. Skin tightens and dead cells are swept away as young, fresh cells move to the surface. Yes, for only $69.95, you can now receive this doctor's complete 30-day Retinoid Youth Regimen. You'll feel and see results the same day, dramatic results within the first month that improve with continued use, and no prescriptions, no costly doctor's visits, and no harmful side effects.
The benefit of the product not being a prescription item gives you safety, makes a woman feel safe about it.
I feel that I can use it and not worry about any kind of sun exposure.
Stop paying for frivolous department store cosmetics or fortunes for potentially dangerous drugs. The doctor's Retinoid Youth Regimen is available only through this special TV offering on a full 30-day money-back guarantee.
And I think every woman is cheating herself if she doesn't use it. She can stay young, and it's so easy. Why not? I mean, that's what it's all about. We all want to stay young and youthful looking.
Toast to good health and good looks.